I am excited to hear from our next guest presenter. Anytime I'm reading people's bios and learning about folks, and one of the first things that is said is, this person is an American activist. It really does cement me and ground their ideology and the work that they do without even understanding exactly each level, because activism comes in a way that really, again, showcases the power of so much of our passion and how we can take passion to. Please join me in welcoming the Honorable Charles Rogers.
Thank you very much. Am I on now? Well, thank you very much. My name is Charles Barron, and I'm from New York City. I'm a New York assemblyman from the city of New York that the Apple never gave us a bite. But I wanted to thank you, particular Y King, and the members of Africatown for the model that you have set across the nation on the importance of Black self-determination, Black liberation. So let me start off by saying that I want to give a macro picture and then a micro picture of what we're doing in my beloved Brooklyn community of East New York and the 60th Assembly District. And my wife, Inez Barron, is the local council member. She is the council member in the 42nd Council District. So what we focused on in a macro sense, we have to do all of this stuff in education and housing and healthcare and jobs and stopping gentrification and mass incarceration. But the root of the problem is that we are governed by a racist, neo-colonial capitalist system, a colonial capitalist system that has a warmongering, imperialistic foreign policy, and racism is the ideology that permeates every institution and many of the minds of the people in America. America needs a revolution. So bottom line, I come out of the Black Panther Party tradition, the Black Power tradition. America needs a radical, as Dr. King would say, reorganization, a radical change of its economic and political order. And we need to have a change in our value system, moving from individualism, rugged individualism, personal ambition, selling us out, traders in our community that will do anything for their personal ambition, even if it means supporting budgets and policies in state, federal, and city governments that hurt our people. So we are about Black radical politics locally. Having said all of that, I know that in the meantime, we have to have a strategy to deal with in the meantime. And that's what we did in East New York. So in the meantime, I ran for the city council. We did a power analysis. You know, in the 60s, we said Black power. Well, we did the Black, but we didn't do the power. We did the Black, we put on our African garb, our dashikis, changed our names, Afro hairdos. We talked about having Black History Month and Black History Talk. Won and fought that. We did Kwanzaa. We did the Kawaii theory. We did all of these things to promote our culture. It was the right thing to do because culture is a weapon for liberation. But we didn't do the power. We didn't get the power. Power is the ability to act. Power is the ability to make decisions and to influence things in a way that where I was leading to is the acquisition of power through local politics. But not just any Black person. Black faces in high places doesn't necessarily mean Black power or Black self-determination. Martin Luther King called them manufactured leaders. How the gives these Black leaders that are going to cooperate with the colonial capitalist system prestigious positions and resources as long as they stay under their control and they maintain the control in our communities. This is why we need a because of the political structures in our community. They keep us disempowered. So what we did in East New York, I ran for the city council and won. My wife ran for the state assembly and won. We won the local community board seats, and we won the local district leadership seats and the local judge. And so with that political establishment called Operation Power, people organizing and working for empowerment and respect, we wiped out the Democratic Party club. The blacks, we call them neo-colonial black puppets of the Democratic Party club, and we gained power. What did this do for us? We stopped gentrification. How do we stop gentrification? Because the city council has the power to determine what's going to be built on city-owned land. The mayor will tell you that. So if Donald Trump came to my beloved East New York community and on Alabama Avenue wanted to build Trump Towers, he has to see the Black Panther. He has to see the black city council member. And if I say, no, you're fired, he cannot build. So we were able to use the area median income as a measuring tool for what is affordable. In our district, the area median income is $36,000 for a family of 3. Most of the developers came into our district wanting to do $80,000 for a family of 3, $100,000 for a family of 3. This is how your neighborhood gets gentrified. So those families with those salaries are usually white families and some middle class, black middle class, and they're mostly white. So we lost populations in other communities around us because of gentrification and the area median income. So brothers and sisters, what we did is we said to the developer, we will tell you what's affordable. And we made them build according to the income band of my neighborhood. So right now, in my 12 years in the city council, my wife's 6 years in the state assembly, and now 6 in the city council, we stopped gentrification. When I came into office, 67% of my district was black and 16 was Latino. Now, 73% is black and 19% is Latino. 95% of us are black and Latino. No gentrification. 12,000 units of housing, and not one apartment is market value. Not one. All 12,000 meet the income band of my neighborhood. And it's because the land use committee in the city council, when something comes in a local council member's district, they ask them, what do you want to do with this project? And if I say no, the project dies in committee. If I say yes, it comes in. That's power. Didn't even have to demonstrate. Didn't have to scream and holler. Just say no. And we were able to stop gentrification. Walmart was trying to come into our community. We said no. Stop Walmart. Some of the sellout blacks in my neighborhood were saying, we need the jobs. I said, I already got jobs for you in other enterprises that are going to let you unionize and pay you a decent wage. You don't want Walmart. That's a rolling plantation. You're not going to make no money. You can't unionize. You have to go on Medicaid to get any help. Double. You don't want Walmart. And Walmart stopped paying off black leaders. Oh, the barons against development. And what? We stopped Walmart. Not crazy about ShopRite or JCPenney or any of those stores, but they came in instead of Walmart, and we made them hire the people in our neighborhood, pay them a decent wage, and let them unionize and get health care. Walmart, we stopped. We stopped the big giant, Walmart. Because why? We had some political power, a little taste of power. So in addition to doing Africatown, we need to get control of the local politics in our community with black, conscious, committed black people to the liberation of our people. Not those that the machine is putting forward, not those that have sold us out for their personal ambition, but those that are independent and committed to our people. So I wanted to come before you to congratulate you. I wanted to come before you to say that we also build $70 million worth of parks renovated. 3 new elementary schools came into our district, $80 to $110 million, because we were involved in the local politics. We won those seats. I sat on committees in New York where they were building new schools in white communities. I said, oh, no, you're not. Bring some to my community. Got 3 of them. I have a brand new $12 million youth center. I told one developer, if you come into East New York, we ain't signing on to anything. That's right. I said, we ain't. Not we are not. I said, we ain't signing on to anything unless you build a youth center. And I had the power to do that. We have a 2-story, $12 million state-of-the-art youth center run by the youth in my district, get them off the street and into jobs. And we will own that after the 30 years, the duration of the loan that the developer's involved with us. He don't care about the youth center. As long as I can find the money for operating costs every year, about a couple of $1 million, that's our youth center. We own it after 30 years. These are the things that we can do. We talk about education. I sit down with the chancellor, gave him a big book by Malefa and Sante and said, we want Black history in our schools. We want science labs and we want computer labs. I have even music studios in some of the schools. And we make sure that we don't allow them to pit charter schools against public schools and have our communities fighting over that. Public schools, public money is for public schools. So I want to encourage you to keep doing what you're doing, but get the power. Get the power. They may have been being nice to you now and working with you, and you may have a nice coalition, but the bottom line, get the power. There's nothing like having power to determine the destiny in the Black community. That's what the Black Panther Party in this first point in the 10-point program, we want to control the destiny. We want the power to control the destiny of our beloved Black communities, meaning we want control over all of the institutions that govern our lives, the hospitals, the police especially, the education system, transportation. We want to control the social, political, and economic institutions in our neighborhoods. We can't be 70, 80, 90% of the neighborhood. We don't own the land. We don't own the businesses. We don't own the hospitals. We don't control nothing. That's why what you're doing is so great. Tulsa, in Tulsa, Oklahoma, they own everything. And then whites created some nonsense and wind up killing, murdering our people, burning them down for envy and jealousy. Same thing in Rosewood. If we did it back then, Marcus Garvey did it. If we did it then with those meager resources, we should be doing no less than what you are doing in Africatown and what we're doing in New York through the political system. Thank you very much. I always leave with this. Capitalism is very difficult to fight. I understand the military might, and I understand the economic might of capitalism. But the African proverb says the best way to eat a big capitalist elephant, one bite at a time. And don't try to swallow the whole thing. A journey of 1,000 miles, you can walk 1,000 miles, take it one step at a time. And finally, life is hard if you take it by the yard, but it's a cinch if you take it inch by inch. All power to the people. Keep up the good work. I thank you.